Being a career mom means that you have to give your career and your family a lot of energy. So how do we stay peaceful throughout it all? I'm going to share what I do to stay peaceful when everyone wants my energy. Hey Royal Family, welcome to the front row with myself, Roanna, where I talk about all things self-development. Chapter 1, what gives you peace? The first thing we've got to do is to identify what gives you peace. What are the things that brings you joy? What are the things that make you feel like you can take a deep breath and calm the F down and be okay? Is it meditation? Is it prayer? Is it swimming? Is it running? Is it going to the spa? Is it getting your nails done? Is it getting your hair done? Is it going out with your friends? Is it solo dating? When you understand the thing that brings you peace, and once you identify that, it gives you a better vision of what to do, especially when you are feeling the noise, especially when you are feeling like the energy is being drained from you, because it's tough out here. It's tough to be a mom. It's tough to be a career orientated person and to be really good at everything all at once. And it's not easy to balance everything. In fact, there's no balance. You just have to create concentrated time and undivided attention when you are doing those different roles. It's the only way to survive, and it's the only way to get it right. Chapter 2. Why do you need peace? Now, this may not be a surprise to you. Of course, you need peace in your life. It's the way to find stability. It's the way you find sanity in the space that you occupy in the world. It's your little hum time. Because if we just go, 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 it becomes very overwhelming. And you do feel that the noise is becoming too much for you to handle. And that's when you have nervous breakdowns, you go through stress, you go through anxiety, you might go through a rut, and that's not where you want to be. Of course, it's human nature to go through these channels of life or these episodes in life, but what's important is how you get out of it, or what you need to do to get better and to fuel yourself with the energy to cope with being a career mom. And the reason you need peace is to make you better at what you're doing. You become a better career person. You become a better mom. You're performing at a better peak. You're happier when you're involved in those things. You're not doing it with anxiety and anger and irritation or tiredness or exhaustion, because you're doing it from a place of gratitude and welcome and love, and you're starting to enjoy the process, because life is all about that. Life is about going through the motions. Life is sometimes very mundane. And if we don't fall in love with the process, if we don't find peace with the everyday things that we're doing, that's when we start feeling uncomfortable. That's when we start feeling irritated or angry or anxious or exhausted, because we're not doing the thing that gives us the peace to allow us to do what we need to do to be the best career person, to be the best mom, to be the best partner, to be a person in society that's actually living their best full life. Chapter 3, how do I protect my peace? You know, something tells me that you know exactly how to protect your peace, but I'm going to say it because sometimes when you hear it from someone else, it just starts registering louder in your brain. I know that is the case for me. Even though I know something, but if I hear someone else say it, I'm like, oh, yeah, I've been thinking that. Maybe I should do that. So I'm going to be that person for you now, and I'm going to say me time. How you protect your peace is by having me time and doing more of the things that bring you joy and bring you peace. And that's why I spoke about it in the beginning, because identifying the thing that makes you happy, the thing that brings you joy and peace and fulfillment, if you do more of that, that's the thing that's going to help you to feel more peaceful, because you're going to start feeling like you have purpose. You're going to start feeling like you belong. You're going to start feeling like you are pouring into your own cup, and you're able to give more of yourself in the different areas in your career, as a mom, etc. And the more you move with what brings you peace, the happier you will feel, because life is about doing the mundane things and falling in love with those processes. And it's the only way you can be successful, by consistency in doing the mundane things. So if you don't feel happy about that and you don't find joy in those moments, then you're going to start feeling irritation, or you're going to start feeling anxious about things, or you're going to feel some type of way which is a bit negative. And once you start doing more of the things that bring you joy and bring you peace and investing in you, the other thing that's absolutely important for you to do is to not submit to chaos. And what I mean by that is everyone can bring you problems and everyone can feed off the positive energy that you're delivering. And sometimes with that, because you're giving so much of yourself and you are spreading yourself too thin, it can make you feel like you are submitting to the chaotic world around you. So it's okay to say no, and it's okay to be okay with stepping away from something. It's okay to not help every single person with their problems or whatever they need to do. I know in my community, especially with women, it is almost frowned upon if you are not doing something for the community in a certain capacity, whether it's charity or whether it's at school, etc. And if you're the person that's like not contributing to that, it is frowned upon. Because I'm generally not the person that would bake a cake or bring cupcakes or attend meetings during the day, because I'm very busy and I'm focused on doing things in my career. So I can't bake cupcakes or have a meeting in the middle of the day like other moms can. And it doesn't mean that I'm better than the other moms or they're better than me. It just means that my particular situation and circumstances is different. I mean, sure, I'll go and like watch a game and cheer for my child. That's different to me. But I don't want to be part of a committee and attend meetings and bake cupcakes. It's just something that doesn't bring me joy. And that's okay. And I think in the beginning, I wanted to show that I cared and I didn't want people to judge me. And I realized that if I am going to please every single person in this world and not please myself, I'm going to be submitting to the chaos. And the chaos is going to overwhelm me. It's going to rip my peace and I'm going to feel like my energy is being drained. And that is not worth it. And when you feel like your energy is drained, you do go down a dark path where you're feeling anxious, you're getting upset, you're feeling too tired, you're feeling exhausted, overwhelmed. There's just too much going around. What you want to strive for is just this immense peace that everything is happening around you, but you're performing at a frequency that suits your best self really well. And the next thing I do to protect my peace is to sit in silence and to just connect with myself. And I call that prayer. You can call it a connection with the universe, a connection with yourself, your soul, your atma, whatever it may be. But for me, prayer speaks volumes to my peace. It gives me clarity and it makes me understand things a little better. The faith that I have that things will be better for me, the understanding that I learn through my journey of sitting in meditation or praying makes me feel stronger and more able to tackle what's going on in life, to tackle the chaos that's happening in the world, and to approach life with a sense of gratitude, a sense of strength, and with optimism, which is very, very important to lead a life that is fulfilling, that is purposeful, and that is joyous and tailor-made for who you are and what you want. And prayer can be in any forms. You don't have to be a religious person to pray. I look at prayer as just sitting with your thoughts, whether that is journaling or meditating or taking a walk and looking out at nature or taking a drive or just being still, that you can put your thoughts and compartmentalize things better and understand yourself better. And that's doing the inner work. Because when you sit with your thoughts and you give reverence to yourself, you give reverence to your thinking, and you're not occupying your mind with noise. You're not looking at the TV and you're not consuming things. You're just getting to know yourself and being really, really true with yourself. That's when the answers come. That's when the solutions come for whatever it is that you are thinking about, that you're trying to sort out. That's when you tap into a different kind of energy, that your brain starts finding these solutions. Maybe you had the solution in your mind already, and with the stillness or prayer, it allows your brain to find those solutions that you may have locked in and not tapped into. And it's such a great space to be in, because I find that the more I still myself and the more I think about things without any distractions, and I try to get to know who I am, and or like what exactly do I want out of this life that I'm living, is where I find deeper answers. And sometimes the answer wouldn't come immediately, like you would have to do it consistently and more regularly. Sometimes it just comes out of the blue. Some people speak about it like, I heard a voice or God told me, but it's this innate feeling that, or your gut feeling that, okay, this is the thing that I'm supposed to do, and I think this is the direction I'm going to go in, and you're sure about that decision. And that's the thing that eliminates the noise and makes you feel more peaceful. And it also helps with the distraction, because there's many opinions out there in the world, and the only opinion that is important is yours, because you are deciding things and you're thinking about things for your own life. And for you not to get distracted by the outside noise, the prayer is the thing that allows you to make that decision, be firm in your decision, and trust in your decision and the way forward and how you are going to operate in society. I know I talked about being consistent and being dedicated briefly. This is also something that goes with finding the peace amongst the noise and retaining your energy. With the discipline and the consistency, you will see a positive shift in the direction that you want to move in. And it's very important to also communicate what you're doing and why you're doing it and why you need to do it to people around you, and be firm about it. If it is that I can only speak to you for 10 minutes, be very, very disciplined in that, where if a friend is venting to you and you've got 10 minutes and they're abusing your time, then you've got to go and say bye. Or if you need 30 minutes of alone time to sit with your thoughts, to get to know what you want, or to do some self-care or take a walk, then communicating with your loved ones to say, listen, I need a time out here so I can re-energize and come back as the best version of myself for you. And the more you communicate with each other and have that understanding, that's how you can build the discipline and the consistency to do it. Because if there's no communication and nobody knows why you're doing something, then that's where tension can arise. And it's also for your loved ones to do the same with their time. It's so important to encourage people to do the inner work, to sit with their thoughts, to meditate, to pray, to have faith, to journal, to be true to their feelings so that they can resolve any issues or anxiety or things that they are going through with ease. Because the world is such a tough place already, and finding clarity and a way past the noise or past the stress or the problems is so difficult. And when you're going through trying times, it's very, very difficult to find your true north. And with prayer and with journaling or meditation or taking a walk or spa time or whatever it is that gives you that peace is so incredibly powerful in helping you to get over the hurdle that you're experiencing. And the communication is so vital, of saying, I need this time to pour into my own cup. Look, it's incredibly challenging to be a person in society. But if you are a working parent, that kind of challenge is a different ball game. So finding these pockets of peace to re-energize, to refuel yourself so that you are moving at a frequency that is suitable for your success while everything is happening around you is absolutely crucial. I never used to think about life like this. And then when I became a parent, I started to feel a lot of anxiety. I started to feel really exhausted. And I didn't know why I was feeling like this. And then I became snappy, and then I was just angry. And then I wasn't doing the things that fueled me. So I wasn't exercising, I wasn't drinking enough water, I wasn't eating well, I was secluded, I wasn't talking to people, and I wasn't performing at my best. I wasn't the best version of myself in my career. I also wasn't the best version of myself as a mom or a partner. And that made a loud enough noise in me to look at myself and think about how I can change this, because I didn't want to feel like that forever. I wanted things to be better. And the only way I knew how to do that is to look within myself. And so I started to invest in my meditation. I started to pray. I started to communicate what I needed. And I practiced these steps consistently with diligence and with discipline. And even on the days that it was just not working out, I just stuck with my decision. And I knew that at the end of the road, I would find my true north. And eventually, things just started to fall in place. It was amazing. I woke up one day and everything was stressful, just as how it was always, but I was moving with a lot of peace. I was just attending to everything in a very peaceful manner. And that's when I realized that there's power in this practice. There's power in stilling your mind and re energizing yourself by doing the things that bring you joy, by having this me time. Because when I pour into my cup, I am a better version of myself. I can withstand more pressure and still feel like I'm living a full life. And I also started to say no to certain friends and certain family members that would occupy my time negatively. I remember I used to get phone calls from a family member who would talk to me for hours and hours and hours and complain about her husband nonstop. And while I thought I was being supportive to her, what was actually happening is that it was completely draining my energy. And I was also not being disciplined with my time. And that just didn't impact any of us. She felt negative still after the phone call. I just felt drained. She was pulling my energy away. And so it wasn't healthy. And then eventually, I just did not entertain that kind of communication anymore. And the moment I decided to be selfish with my time because I needed to work on my energy and my peace and my frequency, things started to move in a better direction for me. And it didn't mean that I was not going to be supportive to this family member anymore. It just meant that I was going to be disciplined. So she had a window. If she needed to talk to me, then it was a window. And if we were only going to be talking bad things about her husband, then perhaps we shouldn't have this conversation over and over and over unless she's going to do something about it. So I started dropping conversations that were low energy, that didn't serve me, that just was not needed. Because what's the point gossiping about someone over and over, but you're not doing anything to change your situation? And then when we all get together, you're really good with your husband, but we're now feeling some type of way about him because we're supporting you, but you're all good with him. So then it just becomes a whole toxic situation and it actually benefits nobody. So I didn't want that to happen anymore. And I just made a firm decision to just encourage positive behavior. Sure, you want to vent, you want to seek advice, fine, I'm there to do it. But I'm not there to labor on. And if you're not going to make any changes, then we really can't harp on the situation over and over because I don't dump on you. I don't do any trauma dumping on you. So I don't need to take someone else's trauma and hear the same thing over and over. When everybody wants your energy, the best thing for you to do is to still your mind, do the inner work, and follow the guidelines that I've mentioned in this video. Comment below and let me know how that works for you. And I thank you so much for joining me on this video. We'll do this again soon. Cheers. Hey, Royal family. Being a career mom, being a career mom means that you have to give your career and your family. Being a career mom means that you have to give your family a lot of attention. As being a career mom means that you have to give your career and your family a lot of energy. So how do we stay peaceful?